So, folks, we got some pretty big as in important, as in cool, stuff to go over here. Psilocybin therapy sharply reduces excessive drinking, small study shows. Researchers said the results offered promise to the millions of Americans with alcohol use disorder. Check this out. A small study on the therapeutic effects of using psychedelic drugs to treat alcohol use disorder found that just 2 doses of psilocybin magic mushrooms paired with psychotherapy led to an 83% decline in heavy drinking among the participants. Those given a placebo reduced their alcohol intake by 51%. Now think about this. Think about this shit. Okay, so some history. Some of the first scientific studies of psychedelic drugs in general were in the 1950s and 1960s before they were heavily banned and regulated by the U.S. government. And so during a lot of those studies in the 1950s and 60s, right, it was discovered that LSD and which was the main pharmaceutical used thing. So in this instance, we're using mushrooms, but they're very similar. Anyway, so LSD was able to cut down alcoholism by around 50 to 60% that they found. And so now the core thing here, in my experience as a mushroom enjoyer, my opinion is that the psychotherapy is a necessary part of this whole thing. And it doesn't necessarily, I think it's better if people are able to talk to other people if they need to, but it's not required. I think, one of the common things that's referred to when it comes to doing drugs like this is, what is your mindset and what is your physical setting, right? So, if you're taking a drug for therapeutic purposes, if you go into a trip thinking, holy shit, I'm an alcoholic, I'm gonna fucking die of liver failure if I don't get this shit under control, right? And then you wrestle with that fucking demon for like 13 trillion years when you're in the fucking goddamn gone zone, right? You're gonna come out and you're gonna be thinking, you know what, I should probably quit the alcohol, it's not that good anyway, right? So again, it's all about that mindset going in. That, in my opinion, creates these extremely interesting numbers. And again, that also explains why people given a placebo reduced their alcohol intake by 51%, because it's all about the mindset. Now, again, it's not all about the mindset, obviously. There is a pretty big delta, 83 to 51%, right? So there is a pretty big delta. But again, the mindset going into something and trying to create positive change, that's really the big thing. And these drugs can really help you kind of cement that. It can put you in that perspective where the idea of alcohol is just kind of disgusting. Like, you can smell it and go like, oh, you know what I mean? So anyway, by the end of the 8-month trial, nearly half of those who received psilocybin had stopped drinking entirely, compared with about a quarter of those given the placebo, according to the researchers. The study, published Wednesday in JAMA Psychiatry, is the... I'm sorry, I'm drinking a lot of coffee, so I got a little hiccups. Just bear with me. Is the latest in a cascade of new research exploring the benefits of mind-altering compounds to treat a range of mental health problems, from depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder to existential dread experienced by the terminally ill. Whoa. Although most psychedelics remain illegal under federal law, the Food and Drug Administration is weighing potential therapeutic uses for compounds like psilocybin, LSD, and MDMA. The drug, better known as ecstasy, Dr. Michael Bogen-Schutz, director of NYU Langone Center for the Psychedelic Medicine and Studies lead investigator, said the findings offered hope to nearly 15 million Americans who struggle with excessive drinking, roughly 5% of all adults. Excessive alcohol use kills an estimated 140,000 people each year. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. The double-blind randomized trial followed 93 participants for 32 weeks and divided them into 2 groups. One received psilocybin and the other a placebo in the form of antihistamine pills. Now, my guess is that this is probably like a microdose experiment. Like, I don't know how you can placebo like a trip. Like, imagine like you're going to take like 5 grams of mushrooms and then you get a placebo. Like, there's no way you're thinking, oh shit, I just took 5 grams of mushroom. You know what I mean, right? So unless you really just have no idea what they're supposed to be like, but you know what I mean? But anyway, Okay, I link the article. I can indeed, and I will always link it in the description when I upload the videos. Let's keep going. The participants, all of whom struggled with excessive drinking, also took part in 12 therapy sessions that began several weeks before they received their first doses and continued for a month. After the final dose, the psilocybin dosage was determined according to participants' weight, and their heart rate and blood pressure were monitored during the 8-hour sessions. Although none of the participants who received psilocybin reported serious adverse effects, the study had one notable limitation. After each session, nearly all the study subjects were able to successfully guess whether they had received psilocybin or the placebo. So I guess it was supposed to be a very perceived dose, right? Yeah, like imagine like here's 5 grams of psilocybin, like have fun. And then like you just take them and then nothing happens. I mean, you might still have a good therapy sesh, right? It might still be a fun therapy sesh. But like, I don't know, man. I don't think anybody is going to be taking 5 grams. I don't know what the amounts are, right? But like, you know, anyway, so then we have this lady who exists. Used to have 5 or 6 drinks every evening and more on the weekends before enrolling into the psilocybin study. Well, that's great. Anyway, so you can read the rest of this if you'd like. But once again, just almost every, if not every, article and study that comes out about psychedelic drugs is positive. Let's be honest. I mean, hey, it's the news, it's the science, it's the research. Everything's pointing to the fact that this is cool stuff. So, hey, you know, just throwing that out there. Let's follow the science, maybe. But, I don't know, our government's still pretty fucking stupid. Either way, good news.